We all know that Elon Musk is a very ambitious man. He has companies in many different fields. Why is he having this many companies? What is his main goal? Well, let's find out. Elon Musk's biggest ambition is to make humans multi-planetary, and the planet he has chosen for this is Mars. In order to go to Mars, we need a very efficient space transport system. To achieve this goal, Elon started his SpaceX company. SpaceX has been able to land and reuse their Falcon 9 rocket booster. And by now, they have started the development of their next generation rocket, the Starship, a fully reusable super heavy lift rocket. After the development of the Starship, SpaceX will be able to make a very efficient transport system from Earth to Mars and back. The Starship is able to transport cargo and as well as humans. After getting to Mars, our next challenge is making a human colony there. There are four main problems in building a Mars colony. 1. Mars has a very thin atmosphere which is only 1% of Earth's atmosphere. 2. Very cold temperatures up to negative 63 degrees Celsius due to its position in the solar system and low atmosphere. 3. Low gravitational field. 4. It doesn't have a magnetic field like on Earth to be protected from solar winds. Therefore, Mars is constantly exposed to dangerous solar radiation from the Sun. So, the best place to build a colony on Mars would be underground. After we build a colony underground, it can be kept at atmospheric pressure and be protected from solar radiation. After a few years on Mars, there will be several colonies in several places on Mars. So the next thing we need is a good communication system on Mars. On Earth, for communication, we use fiber optic cables and radio waves. But for this, we need a lot of facilities, and doing this on Mars will be very hard. So in order to solve this, the best way is to use satellite communication. And this is where Elon's Starlink project comes in. Using this project, Elon is planning on giving high-speed, low-latency internet connection to the whole world. But on Earth, even if we don't use high-end satellite communication like this, we still can use radio waves and fiber optic cables to solve this problem, while having a good internet connection too. But this Starlink project would be very useful on Mars. Mars is smaller than Earth, so we can use less number of satellites and cover the whole of Mars. And this solves the communication problem on Mars. But then, how are we going to solve the transportation problem? On Earth, for transportation, we use fossil fuels. We can get this easily by digging the ground, and we are able to use this easily and safely. But we haven't found any trace of fossil fuels on Mars. Even if there are fossil fuels on Mars, we need a lot of complex machines to get it. Okay, let's say that we got fossil fuels on Mars, but we need to burn it, which needs oxygen. And we all know that Mars doesn't have oxygen in its atmosphere. So, the best solution is to use a fully electric transport system. And this is where Tesla comes in. On Earth, Tesla vehicles are very environmentally friendly, high-end, good design vehicles. But compared to other cars, electric cars take a long time to charge. It will take around 30 minutes to charge a car like this up to 80%, while a normal car can be fueled to full tank in just 5 minutes. But if we take these electric cars to Mars, it will be very important because on Mars there is no other option. By now, Tesla has manufactured cars, SUVs and semi-trucks. When we are building the first colonies on Mars, we would have to transport small items through small distances very efficiently. For this, the best vehicle would be a pickup truck. So this is why Tesla made the Cybertruck. At first glance at the Cybertruck, it looks like it's obviously not designed for Earth. If we are living on Mars, we would need electricity. On Earth, in order to make electricity, we use fossil fuels, hydro or wind power. But on Mars, none of this is practical. So we need another solution. If we are able to find radioactive isotopes, using that we will be able to make a nuclear power station. But by now, there will be only a very small colony on Mars. So making a nuclear power station will be too complicated and hard. So the best way to make electricity on Mars would be to use solar power. And this is where Elon Musk's SolarCity company comes in. SolarCity has been able to mass produce its solar panels, and Tesla has been able to mass produce the batteries they need to store all this energy. Using the electricity from the solar panels and then storing them in these batteries, the first few Mars colonies will be able to use this as their electricity and to charge their vehicles. Once the Starship rocket goes to Mars, it needs to make its own fuel on the surface of Mars in order to come back to Earth. On the atmosphere of Mars, there is carbon dioxide, and on the surface, there is ice. From this carbon dioxide and water, by using the Sabatier reaction, we can make oxygen and methane. And this is why the Starship's Raptor engine uses methane as its fuel. In order to make methane and oxygen from carbon dioxide and water, we need heavy machinery. And these machines must be transported further away from the colonies because they need to work where ice is available. For this, we can use Tesla's semi-truck. But on Mars, there are no roads, so this won't be practical. For this, what we can do is to make an underground tunnel system. And this is where Elon Musk's Boring company comes in. On Earth, we use these boring machines to make tunnels under a city and send the traffic in the city under these tunnels. When we get to Mars, we need to dig these tunnels very fast. And this is why the Boring company is working very hard on developing their machines to increase the speed digging these tunnels. We can also use the boring machine to make the underground colonies, like I said earlier. And by using the boring machine, we can also use it to expand our colonies. With time, the Mars colonies will expand, and traveling from electric cars won't be enough. And this is where Elon Musk's Hyperloop project comes in. The Hyperloop is a levitating pod traveling through nearly airless tubes at speeds of up to 1,223 kilometers per hour. One day in the future, there will be colonies all around Mars. And in order to transport cargo very far distances, we need to go from above. But planes aren't an option. You might have heard that Starship is also designed to take humans from place to place here on Earth. So, we can use Starship to transport cargo and people from place to place on Mars too. So after hearing this, you can come to conclusion that all of Elon Musk's companies are actually meant for Mars and he's just testing them here on Earth.